everyone, I'm Becky.
I'm Sarah.
And we're doing Bickering book reviews. Today we are talking about Jane Anonymous by Laurie Faria Stolartz, I'm going to say.
I think it's Stolarz, but...
Stolarz. I apologize. Which I got off of NetGalley.
I got it off Edelweiss, which is strange that we got it from separate places, but whatever.
I think I'm auto-approved by them on NetGalley.
I don't know, like, the NetGalley score is, like, it makes me, like, anxious a little bit sometimes.
See, I have a 98%.
I mean, I'm in the 90s. I'm just, like, nervous, especially because, like, it's just taking me a lot longer to, like, read the books.
Oh, I mean, it took me a long time to get to my 98%, but I'm trying to keep... Anyway, that's a whole different discussion. So this book is about Jane, who is 17 years old, and one morning she goes to her place of work at a store to pick up her best friend's birthday gift, and she gets kidnapped. And she doesn't see the man who kidnaps her, but she ends up in the trunk of his car, and he holds her for 9 months. And at 9 months, she figures out a way to escape, and she goes back to her life, and her life is hard, and everybody's like, but you've been rescued, and she's like, yeah, but I'm still kind of in that realm mentally. And so it kind of rotates between the two visions.
Well, and I think but they definitely make a distinguishing, that, like, you've been rescued, but they kind of make it out like, we rescued you, and she's like, no, I saved myself.
She did save herself.
And you're like, yeah, that really kind of, it changes kind of the perspective a little bit.
And so there's, like, it kind of goes back between her being kidnapped and, like, her experience of her being in the trunk of the car and her being locked in this room to her life, and everybody's like, hey, why don't you like this stuff anymore, and why aren't you okay with this, and why aren't you just happy that you're home?
You're back, and it's great, and nothing needs to change.
And you weren't traumatized for 9 months.
And we were more traumatized because you were gone than you were traumatized about being gone.
Yes.
It's really kind of the other weird bit of it.
Right.
It's like, you were gone, and it was so hard.
Well, and because those 9 months she was in the room, she didn't see him. He never came, but there was somebody else that was being held.
Which I think was kind of hard. It was hard for me to accept, like, that point of it until, like, we got more to the end, because I'm like, why did he take her? Like, what's the point of this?
I kind of figured out the twist really
I mean, I figured out the twist, like, I saw that, but, like, for whatever reason, like, even though I get, like, what is happening, like, it's fairly obvious, like, what's going down, but I'm still just like, but, like, why spend the time to take her?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what? It was just weird that there wasn't, like, a sexual... I'm going to stop talking.
Well, no, honestly...
Because I don't want to give anything away, either.
But, no, that was I was expecting a book like Room. Like, I was expecting there to be, like, a rape or something, but there's not.
And then, because it also felt... it felt like there were... A lot of some books will take kind of their plot lines from the news, right?
Right.
And so, like, you could kind of see sparks of what happened to Ariel Castro and taking those
like
three.
J.C. Goddard. No, I can't say it. What was it? It was J.C. Her. I feel bad. J.C. Goddard.
I feel like that happened before I was, like, old enough to know.
No, I remember that. I remember that it happened about 10 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
this kind of stuff happens.
In the like, news stories, there's usually kind of a more nefarious, more
predatory?
Abusive, more predatory layer to it. And so I think, even though, like, the twist is very obvious, and, like, you know it, you're like, why does she not even consider it?
Well, because she's, like, locked in this little room. That's the thing. Like, this book, like, it hooked me because, like...
Oh, it totally hooked me, too. Like, I was completely invested.
She's locked in this room. Like, they control when the lights turn on, when the lights turn off. They put her food outside a cat door. She's in this basement.
She has to follow a set of rules. She has to clean certain things so she can earn stars to earn kind of...
Right.
Not prizes, but...
Like rewards. It's rewards.
Thank you.
And it's like you're reading it and you're like, oh my God, this could happen. The only thing is, I really liked the parts about her being home and trying to adapt and trying to be like, yeah, this isn't going to work. And I felt like that was so secondary. Like, I would have liked more of that. That was the only thing that, like, that and the relationship involved with the big twist, those were, like, what kind of threw me.
Because, yeah, it was the Mason part that, like, just didn't work for me.
No.
I think if Mason
was unnecessary.
Yeah, I feel like if that wasn't... it wasn't necessary, but then again, it wasn't because it helped help me understand more like why everything happens.
But no, but like, and I've read a lot of books by this author, and this is not usually what she did. She had this like really great series about like the boy, if he touched you, he could like kind of see, like, I can't remember if he see how you die, but then like the girl sculpted things with clay, and like what she sculpted was like kind of prophetic, like that. Like she totally hooked me with that too. The touch series.
Yeah, no, I didn't read that.
Yeah.
But this book did hook me, and I liked the way that they kind of treated mental health.
Right.
You know, as far as talking about like you're not, if it isn't until you're ready to, until you're heard that you feel like, until you feel heard that you're gonna really kind of address things.
Well, and there's also things like he trained her to do these things in this little room, and then she got out and she couldn't stop it. It was like an obsessive compulsive behavior. Like this is what she had to do to survive in this room. And yes, she's home with her parents in the suburbs, but she still needs to do it. I thought that all was done very well.
I can agree with that.
Should we say anything? So we should just rate it.
I mean, I could keep going on about how much I like this book. It's going to be interesting to see, though, how other readers react to it, because there is a level that this stuff does actually happen in the real world.
Right.
And that there are actual kind of like traumas associated with this. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how people who have gone through it feel about this book. But as a reader, it hooked me. I was interested.
I can see kids into
well
this. Yeah, I can see kids getting into it. So our rating system starts at the top with 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse.
I'm at 4 unicorns.
I'm at 4 too.
Because I really enjoyed it.
Like I needed a book to hook me, and this one got me.
Yeah, it did.
So if you like those kinds of psychological thrillers, this is a good one.
Yeah.
And so that is where we are in Jane Anonymous.
All right, see ya.
Bye.